Everyone, another video for you. Today it's going to be a Maya video. I'm going to show you how to model these Lego blocks. Pretty simple and easy to do. I think a beginner can follow along and get it done. You can do a lot with these shapes once you got them created. Well, these are only some of the shapes, but obviously if you've ever played with Legos, you know what you can build with a Lego set, and it's pretty easy to translate that into 3D if you got the pieces and you know what you're doing with Legos. You can make some pretty interesting shapes. I, on the other hand, really suck at Legos, and I was never able to build anything, so that's why I don't have anything going on here, but I'm just going to show you how to get the basic shapes, and maybe you can do something creative with it and get something cool out of it. What I used for some reference was I just Googled Lego pieces, and I came up with this website. Shows you a lot of the different types of Legos that there are. Most of these are built off of the same type of design, which is one square with an extrude. These, on the other hand, is a little bit different. I'll show you how to build this one. And these are pretty simple to do. Is a cylinder with a couple extrusions out of it. The more complicated shapes are these two over here. These two guys with the inner extrude and then the polys coming out of them. And then the two extrusions over here with this complicated, well, not so complicated shape, but different. So that's a little harder to do. We're not going to do that one in this video, but that's kind of an oddball piece, so you may not need that. So I'm not really sure how long YouTube gives me. I know it's more than 25 minutes, so I'll stop the BS and we'll just get started with these basic ones. And like I said, hopefully you'll be able to do something cool with it. So we'll just do a new scene. File, new scene, don't save. We're going to start our first basic block with a polygon cube. So we're going to go to Create Polygon Primitives Cube. I'm going to hit 5 on my keyboard so I can enter shaded mode. And I'm going to set some of the inputs here in my channel box editor, Polycube. We're going to set the width to 2, the height to 2, depth to 2. Subdivisions are going to be 4 on all sides. And we're going to move this bad boy right to the center grid by snapping with grid snap turned on. And it's already actually, I think it is on the center. Yeah, it is on, yeah, that's on the center, but we're going to move it up right to 0 in the y-axis, like so. And if you've ever seen any of my other Maya videos, cutting holes in polygons, it's the video I make most often, you're going to use that same technique, but a little bit tiny different. I'm going to use a technique I use with 3D Max, which is modeling these verts to a spline that's on the surface. My other video, my most recent, cutting a hole in a polygon, I didn't realize how I could get these verts to snap to a spline vert on its surface, but I figured it out along the way, so I'll just pass that along. Let's go with Create Polygon or Nurbs Primitive Circle, and that's we're gonna drag it out here in the center. It's gonna create this huge one, which we're gonna change. We're gonna go to Make Nurbs Circle. We're going to change degree from cubic to linear, and we need the sides to be, or the sections to be 8, because that's what it takes to make a nice smooth circle in Maya, and in pretty much all the other 3D Studio packages. Now the radius, I'm going to set this to 0.5, and I'm going to drag it up, still have my grid snapped on. If I drag it up once, twice, it puts it right on the surface of the polygon, because I made it 2 units high, so dragging it up 2 grid points puts it right on the surface. And that's exactly what we're looking for. Why did I make it 0.5? Well, radius is half the circumference. The circumference would be 1 if it was 0.5, and we need it to be about half the size of this 2-unit cube, so that's 1. So then the radius would be 0.5. There's a little math lesson. So we're going to go and start dragging these verts and snapping them to these points. These 2 verts up here and these 2 here are exactly where they need to be. We really only have to worry about these verts here and these verts here. So to snap these things to these vertexes, we're going to need first to right click the cube and go to vertex mode and select one of the vertexes. Then we want to right click over the spline and go to control vertex. Now, before we actually do this, if you right click on this spline and you can't get that control vertex menu to pop up, which it is right there, but sometimes it doesn't, hit 4 on your keyboard to enter this wireframe mode, and it should make it a lot easier. So we'll just go back to shaded mode since it's working for me. So control vertex. So let's start over. Right click on our polygon, click the vertex we want, right click on our spline, go to control vertex, make sure that snap to verts is turned on, and then just simply drag it over to that vertex and snap it. And we need to repeat the same process. Right click our polygon cube, go to vertex, select our vertex, right click our spline. See what I mean? Hit 4 on your keyboard, right click our spline, and then snap it to this vert, like so, and repeat the process. We'll go to vertex, select the vertex we want to move, right click on our spline, control vertex, move it over, and one more time, vertex, click our vertex, right click on our spline, which seems to be working up here. Okay, hit 4, control vertex, and then snap it. Now, like I said, I'm not going to snap these two, even though my obsessive compulsiveness wants me to. They should be okay. So we're going to exit that and go to faces. We're going to select our faces here, like so. And we are going to go to Edit Mesh, Extrude. We're going to click our World Mode. And now I'm going to pay attention to how much first let me turn off Snap to Verts. I'm going to extrude it up, and I'm going to pay attention in the Y to how much I went up. So we'll do 0.050 for the first one. This is going to give us the support edge near this that we need, so when we smooth this, it retains the shape. And we're going to hit G again on our keyboard to repeat this last process. Click the World Mode again, except we're going to go up a little bit higher this time. We'll do 0.25. 250. And then we'll do extrude again one more time to give it another support edge. Click the world button here, go up another 0.050, like so. And we have our basic Lego shape. This is going to be the basis for most of the Legos that we create, that are square anyway. So I'm going to duplicate this and just keep an extra copy in the background in case I need it for something else, like that. And now I'm going to add some support edges because we need a support edge around all the main edges to keep the square shape. So we're going to go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop tool. We're going to put one here. You can just eye it out. Doesn't really matter. One on the bottom of that. One here. Rotate around. One here. And one here. And that's pretty much all the edges we need. Actually, I should have deleted all these faces on the bottom first. But doesn't matter, we can do it now. Object mode, just so I can click here, faces. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I definitely should have done that first, but that's what happens when I'm rushing. So select all the bottom faces, like this and this. Make sure that none of your other faces are selected, which they aren't. Delete. And go to object mode and hit 3 on the keyboard, and there you go. There's your first Lego block. And now if you look at a real Lego underneath, the polygon or this tube shape would actually come down and would almost be to the bottom of this edge here. But when I did try and model that way, and I was able to create the tube coming down, which wasn't a problem, but once it gets down below here, if I go back to a single wire, number 1 on my keyboard, my not smooth mode, I should say, and I have this down, these two edges here, or these two, I'm not sure which one, they tend to bow out at the bottom, and it doesn't hold that circular shape. Why? Because it doesn't really have any of these support edges here to maintain that. So no matter which way I try to do it, I couldn't get that done. But since this is just 3D and it's actually not a real Lego, you're probably not going to see the bottom of them. It's okay, and we're just going to pretend that it's there. So it's a little bit of cheating, but nobody should see that. So on my original one here, I'm going to get rid of these faces too, so I don't need these. Okay, like that. Alright, so we have our basic smooth Lego. Let's take this one and move it out of the way, so we don't need that for now. That's your single block. Now, some Legos have 4 across or 8 across or whatever the case may be. So let's build one of those guys out and see how we do that. It's pretty simple. We're going to first delete all the faces on both sides. like so, and not that. Oh yeah, we need that one too anyway. So let's delete these. So we're just left with this shell of a Lego now. We'll go to object mode. Okay, now we can do this, I guess with duplicate special. We'll go up to edit, duplicate special, option box, reset, so we can start over. Now we're working in the Z direction. If you look down here, you have your Z, so that's left and right for now. And if we move this over, we're going to be working positive. So now we made this 2 units long, 2 grid spaces each. So we need to translate this over in the Z axis. This is X, this is Y, this is Z. We need to go 2 units. And what do we want? Let's do 7 copies. Hit apply. And we have 7 nice copies directly on top of each other. Now, why did I delete those faces? Because at one point, once we merge once we combine these, we're going to need to merge the vertices here and here and here. And if you have faces between these, Maya does not like that, and it will not allow you to get a smooth, non-seamless thing if you have those faces in between there. So you always need to delete the faces on these when you're merging these vertices together. So we'll go to object mode, we'll select all these guys. We're going to go up to mesh, combine, so they need to be all one. And now you can still see the border edges here, they're a little thicker than my other ones. If I was to click on edge and double click this edge, it's only going to give me the border on this one and wouldn't select this whole thing like we really want. So we need to go to vertice mode, select all these verts, go to edit, mesh, merge, option box. Mine is set to 0, 1, 0. Yours is probably 0, 100 by default, so you want to lower it down. It's a little too high. That's the distance of verts. Like so, if this vert is here and the other one is right on top of it, that's a tiny distance. But if we set this real high, we could end up merging this vert with this vert with that vert, these 2 verts together. So just make sure it's set really low to start out and then work your way up. Now you should see this thick border line become a thin line. Like that. All those became a thin line. So now, if we click on edge, we get the full border. But we're not done yet. We need to obviously fill in this gap here and this gap here. So that's pretty simple to do. Let's see how many edges we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total edges. We have 3, 1, 2, 3 edges here. So we're going to bridge this together. So we're going to go to edge mode. I'll just do one first to show you what I'm talking about. We select that edge, and then we select this edge, and we go to edit, mesh, bridge, option box. Now, as I counted, we have 3 edges, so we need to create 3 subdivisions. We hit bridge, and there you go. 1, 2, 3, and they connect perfectly with these verts, or these edges, which is exactly what we want. You could do that all at one shot by selecting all these edges. Just make sure you have the equal amount of edges selected, and then just hit G on your keyboard, repeat that process. And then we'll do the same thing over here. Select all these edges. And then G. Again, I'm just going to mention that those 3 subdivisions are important. If you created this with one subdivision, you'd have these extra edges, maybe only one here, and you'd have these 2 that wouldn't have anything to connect to. And when you smoothed it, it wouldn't look right. So now that you've got all those connected, again, we're going to need to merge all those verts together because these ones that we just made here aren't merged with these. So you have to just do the same thing. Select all those verts again, go to edit, mesh, merge, and now all those verts are all one, and we should be able to get a nice smooth Lego. So we're going to add some edge loops to this guy. Insert edge loop. We're going to do one here and here, one at the bottom, and one at this edge, and then across the top. It should be right. We go to object mode, get out of that tool, and then hit 3 on our keyboard, and we have a nice, smooth, longer Lego. So basically, if you wanted to create, more of them going this way, keep on, if you had a bunch of Legos going that direction, you're just going to do the same thing. You delete these faces here and these faces here and duplicate special and just continue on. So those are 2 pretty basic Legos. We're going to now create one with a a more complicated design. It's still pretty easy, but it's a little bit different technique. We're going to do it with a plane. Create polygon primitives plane. Creates one right in the center. That's just my settings. That's what I wanted. So we need to make this also 2 by 2. And we're going to change the subdivisions, I think, on this to 4 and 4. That should be good because that's going to give us enough geometry to move the verts around with this little spline here. So I'm going to take my spline that I already had before, go back to snap to grid. I'm going to move this guy down right on top of my plane. And then we're going to do the same thing we did with these vertices. We're going to go to verts on my plane, vertex, select one, right click control vertex, turn on snap to verts, snap one there, right click vertex, hit 4 on my keyboard, hit right click control vertex, snap one there, vertex, select it, control vertex, snap that guy there, vertex, select it, control vertex, snap that guy there, and we'll leave these guys alone, the other ones, they should be okay. So go back and hit 5 on the keyboard to enter my shaded mode, select faces. Let's just quickly look at this one here that we're going to model. That's this guy. So it just needs to go up a little bit, and it needs to have some thickness, and that's pretty easy. So we're going to go extrude. First, turn off snap to verts, edit mesh, extrude. What do we go up the first time on the other one? 0.5, 0.050. And then we'll do G on the keyboard again, click the world, extrude up. This one was, I don't even remember, actually. That's what happens when I don't write it down, but I think we'll just do 0.2. And then we're going to hit G again. Going to extrude up, 0.050. Like so. Now, we're going to go to hit G again on the keyboard. Except this time we're going to click world mode and we're going to give this an offset. I think we're going to try 0.09. Let's just do, whoop, that's not what I want to do, undo. Let's do 0.10. There we go. It's my nice even number. Now we're going to do an extrude again, except this time we're going down, and we're going to go down the same distance as before. Negative 0.050. So, oh, that didn't work. Negative 0.050, like that. We're going to hit G on the keyboard again, hit the world mode, go down. This was negative 0.2, if I'm not mistaken. Like that. And then G one more time. Circle button there, and then negative 0.050. And now we're going to delete those faces, like so. Okay, so that's the basic shape we need. We're going to move this guy up 2 units. We're going to start this one at the top. This is going to be our top piece. So because we have grid snaps on, we take this, we move it up once, twice. That's 2 units. That's exactly what we're looking for. And now we're just going to duplicate a bunch of crap, and it should be easy. So go to Edit, Duplicate. Again, keep these grid units snapped on, snap the grid on. That's key. I'm going to move this guy over 1 and down 1. Oop, down 1. And we're going to rotate it 90 degrees, I believe, negative 90. Like that. And that aligns it perfectly with that one. So now we're going to do a duplicate again. We're going to go one down, 1 over, and then we're going to rotate negative 180, like that. And then we're going to duplicate again. So a lot of duplicating. 1 over, 1 up, and rotate negative 270, almost there. And we'll do that 2 more times. Edit, duplicate, move over 1, and then back 1, and then rotate -90. And now we will just take this guy, edit, duplicate, move him over 1, 2, and then we will rotate this guy 180. Oh, if I grab the right manipulator. -180. Oh, sorry, -360. What am I saying? -360. No, that's not what I want to do. What the hell am I doing? -270. There we go. That sounds better. Okay, hit the wrong thing on my keyboard. -270. There we go. Now we have perfectly all aligned. They're exactly where they need to be. That's what's good about these grid spacings. We're going to go to object mode. We're going to, what do I do? We're going to mesh combine. And again, we need to merge all these verts together, because you can't combine things without merging the vertices. Go to edit, mesh, merge. Vertex should be merged 0, 1, 0. Hit merge, and then we'll start adding some edge loops. Insert edge loop tool. Boom, 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 and 2 more. Now if we go to object mode, hit 3 on the keyboard, we've got that interesting looking Lego shape, which it almost looks identical. Maybe a little wider than normal, but you get the basic idea. That's how to create those guys. So not much new to be learned here, I guess. It's if you watch any of my other videos, it's kind of the same techniques for most of these things. Let's just have a quick look at some of these other guys. They're all pretty simple here. This cylinder you could make really easy just by creating a cylinder, doing an extrude at the top level with an offset of whatever, another 1, and then just an extrude up top. These guys, same thing, cylinder, cut it in half, and you can do the same thing with the spline, only you're going to have to eye it out because you can't get the spline to take the shape of this cylinder. You would be able to get the top and the bottom vert snap to it, but those side ones you just kind of have to eye out, but that's easy. These guys here could be modeled with verts. If you just took this square here and you cut away some of these faces, you wouldn't have as many obviously, and just start pushing your vertices up into this arch shape. You should be able to do that one no problem. But like I said, you should, with these techniques, you should be able to design some pretty cool looking Lego toys with just these basic shapes. So I hope that helped. I won't keep this thing going any longer. And if you have any questions, ask, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.